Hello everyone, it's Diane from Crafts by the Bow. Thank you for joining me again. Today I'm going to make another Christmas card, but I'm not going to use a Christmas set. I'm actually going to use the Pop of Petals set. And when I've been making my Christmas cards, a lot of them you have to have the Christmas sets of stamps and dies. So I thought for those people who don't have the Christmas and holiday ones, we'd make one with a flowery set. So what I've used is the Pop of Petals, and I've used these thinlets, which are actually edgelets, delicate lace edgelets, and I've just used this bigger one. These are such a pretty set, and they're my feature for this week, because these lace pieces, it doesn't matter how you use them, they just add that extra dimension to your cards. So as I say, I've used the big one, which is like a double layer of lace, but so pretty. And these are 6 inches long, I think. Yeah, 6 inches long. So they're longer than the length of the ordinary card. And you can use them on the big Memories and More packs, because their cards are 4x6. So it's really nice to have some dies that fit the bigger cards. And I'll just pop those back in their packet. I've also used a few other sets, and really just use whatever you've got at home. So I've started off, let me just move that one out of the way. I've started off with a piece of card that is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. And then I'm just going to burnish it with my bone folder, just to make sure that that fold is lovely and pressed. Now, most people who watch me all the time will already know that I'm doing a landscape card, because I always like my landscape cards with the fold here rather than at the top, just because I find when I have the fold at the top, they kind of splay out. When you've got them sort of on the mantelpiece or on the windowsill, they start and they go down like this. Whereas if you have the fold here, there's no chance of it doing that. It can't splay out. So we're making a landscape card, and my cherry cobbler is all cut and folded. Then I cut out 2 of the lace pieces using the edgelets that I just showed you, and I'm going to glue these onto the card, but there will be an overhang at each edge, and I just want to work out which of the pieces of the lace at the edges I want, and just sort of line them up so that they're even. And I'm only going to put glue on this piece, and for this I'm going to use the Tombow, excuse me. You can use any of the glues that you want, but I just want to use Tombow to make sure I've got a little bit of wiggle room in case I don't get it quite straight to start with. Tombow's very forgiving. So let me see where's best for you to be able to see how I'm lining it up. I want the top of the lace to be nearly at the top of the card. Not quite, but nearly. And then just putting it along like that. And I'm not gluing this top part of it down. I want that to stick off and be a little bit sort of 3D. And then I'm doing the same with the piece for the bottom. So just a little bit of Tombow. There is going to be something over the top of this, so don't worry if you have glue peeping through or anything. It really won't matter, it's going to be covered up. And again, I'm going to try and line it up the same as I did the bottom piece. So it's not quite at the bottom. Let's take that extra glue off. There we are. And then I'm keeping my card folded, and I'm going to use my scissors and just cut off this excess. Now, if you feel brave and you want to cut your pieces to the right length before you put the edgelets on and put it through the die machine, that's fine. But I just know if I did that for camera, I'd end up with a piece that's about 1 inch too short. Okay, so there we are. And then I'm going to turn it round so that the fold's on the left, and I know it's going to open. Right. Then I cut a piece of Very Vanilla, and this was cut at 5.5 inches long by 2.5 inches wide, and it's to go over here, so that you only see those top pieces of the lace peeping out. And for this one, I'm actually going to use my fast fuse. You can use Tombow again, or you can use tear and tape or snail, whatever you want to. But I know I don't need to wriggle this one round very much, so it's fine just to put on. And I just like to hover over so that I can see that both sides are about the same, and then smooth that on. There we go. I don't need that for a moment or two. And then what I did was I cut an 1-inch long strip, and it's to go across the middle. Now, my 1-inch long strip, because I had another idea when I was first setting out to make this card, I cut it, and that's not how I want it. So I'm just going to join it up. There's going to be something that covers over that join, so I'm not worried that it's got a join in it. Okay. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can just see the edge here and have it roughly in the middle. And then here, just a little bit of glue and join it up. It will go over the edge of the card, and then again I'm just going to take my scissors and cut it off. Okay, there we go. You could put a little piece of ribbon across there if you don't want to use card. You could use a coordinating colour. That would look really nice as well. Then I'm using the pop of petals, and I didn't know which flower I wanted. So what I did was I stamped a row of each of them until I had some of everything, and I knew what I wanted to use. And I actually liked this one, had a little bit more detail on it, but I liked this one as well because I want to put a centre in the flower, and I wanted it to be the dimensions that we have, those faceted dimensions that look a little bit like that. So I'm going to cut some of these out as well. I have got 2 of the one that I think I like, but I'm just going to cut a few of these out. And you can always cut these out and save them in your box for another project. So I never mind stamping extra and just sort of holding on to them. So it's going to make like a little flower like this. Just let me have a little look. So I like the way that this one stands out a little bit more, so I think I'm going to go with this one. Yeah. And then that one's a little bit paler, so I'm going to punch out one of the bit darker ones. Let's have this one from this end. There we go. I think I like that one, just because it has a bit more pattern on it. Okay, so I'll pop these post-holes away, seeing as they've not been chosen. And then what I got was I wanted some leaves, and this had leaves, but I could have stamped them and cut them out, but I quite liked the idea of having a little bit of a lacy leaf. So I used the leaf from Ribbon of Courage, and I used the little die cut here. But, you know, we've got lots of sets that have got leaves in, and you probably have a leaf punch, so just choose whatever you want. And I just made 3 of the leaves in Mossy Meadow, because I think that goes nice with this cherry cobbler. What I'm going to do is start by just gluing my flowers down. I'm just going to roll the petals a little bit with my bone folder so that it sticks out a bit. Nothing, you know, too much. You don't need to push the fibres too much. because we are going to glue them down as well. So I'll just make that one there pop up a bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to put glue on just the bottom piece for now. And I'm going to put it over where that join is. Okay. And then I'm going to put glue on the top one. You'll notice I haven't put any glue on my leaves yet. I'm going to poke them in afterwards when I see where the petals have ended up. And because I've used Tombow, I can just move it round a little bit. And let's leave that to dry. And then for the leaves, I'm going to use my glue dots. And where's my little pokey tool gone? I had it out just earlier. Nope, can't see where I put it. So, no, it's not in there. Okay, so what I'll do is just find one end. Take this out. Okay, just found one end, and I'll put a little glue dot on the very end. Pick it up slowly so the glue dot stays on, and then I'm going to put it so that the leaves go over the very vanilla as well. So I'll do the same again, squash it onto a glue dot, pop it inside the petals a little bit. Oh, I'd like those two a bit more together. There we go. And then I'm just going to put one down at the other end. So on another little glue dot, peel it off. I think I'm going to have it just under here. Let's lift that up a little bit more. Ooh, my glue dot fell off. Let's pop it back on. I'm going to put it under there like that. There we go. And then I'm going to need one of my little gold faceted gems. And I'm just going to measure over the top to see which one I want. I think I'm going to go with the middle size, the small one. Oh, but the small one, you can see that flower, but it's just a bit too small. So I'm going to go with the middle size dot. Get one where I can get the glue dot with it. There we are. And just press it into the middle. Put my glue dots away. And I don't need the gems anymore. I'll put those away. And then I have actually used a Christmas stamp set, just with the Merry Christmas on. But if you've got an older stamp set that has a Merry Christmas or a sentiment that you want to use, then just use that one. And I've stamped it on a piece of Very Vanilla, and I've already penanted the end. And what I did was, this was the piece that was on there, and it was long. So I just cut straight down the middle, and then went from corner to where the cut ended, corner from where the cut ended, till it was a length and a shape that I liked. And I know it's going to go on here. What I don't know is how much I need to cut off. So I'm just going to cut it so there's only a tiny bit of the Very Vanilla, like this, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals. And because it's a long piece, I'm going to put 3 on. So there's 1 and 2 and 3. Now, you could make this in different colours, this card, and use it as a birthday card or a get well. It's the kind of a shape of a card that's got, you know, lots of possibilities. So there we are. What I'm going to do next is put a cream piece inside, and I don't think I have a cream piece cut, so let's cut one. We know it's going to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card, So let's see how this is. This is 5.5. I need it to be 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm just going to cut off the piece that's 4, and then 5 1/4, just like this. Well, let's put some glue on. And here we could use some of those extra flowers that we've printed. And that would just tie in the front and the inside. So let me have a look. There's the one that was a little bit pale. Let's cut a darker one out. Line it up and pop it out. And I'm going to put it just in this corner. But again, I'm going to have it so that it's doubled over. But I'm not going to make it so that the petals stick out too much. Just going to have it fairly flat, and I'm not going to put a dimensional on either, because that might make it just a little bit too much for postage. And then now that it's down on the top one, I'm just going to push the petals a little bit so that when you open it, it's opened just a tiny bit, but while it's in the envelope and waiting for the recipient to open it, it won't keep the card open or add too much bulk. So there we are. There's my pop of petals and my little delicate lace edgelets made into a very pretty little Christmas card. So I hope you'll give that one a go. If you'd like to press the subscribe button, then you'll see the rest of my videos. I tend to post twice a week. I tried to get on a Sunday and a Wednesday, and it's Wednesday when you're watching this. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.